So welcome everybody to ArtMantram's Lifetime Achievement Award program. We are now beginning the program, and I hand over to our managing trustee and our founder, Srimati Jija Madhavan Hari Singh.
My dear friends, hearty welcome to all of you to this significant ArtMantram Lifetime Achievement for Women in the Arts and Letters Award Ceremony 2020. On the occasion of the opening of Kalotsava, a 10-day extravaganza of music and dance to support the performing artists affected by the pandemic. To mark the auspicious occasion, I invite Raji Narayan, President, ArtMantram, and Kashmira Nair, Secretary, ArtMantram, to light the ceremonial lamp. Om Sadoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyodirgamaya Mrityorma Amrdam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti.
Shanti Shanti.
I have great pleasure to invite Miss Tara Srinidhi for the invocation prayer now.
I'll be singing 5 Sanskrit shlokas, invoking the blessings from everything in this universe. They're very beautiful stanzas, and they have been chosen from our ancient texts. And they seek the blessings of the gods, the goddesses, the great poet saints, the Mimamsakas, the great philosophers, thinkers, the sun, moon, stars, the Upanishads, the Vedas, and all that is movable and immovable too. May everyone be blessed with good tidings and a huge success to Kalotsava and for ArtMantram in all their endeavors. I begin the prayer. Yam Shaiva Samupasate Shivaiti Brahmeti Vedantino Bodha Buddhaiti Pramana Patavaha Karteti Nayayika Arhum Nityatadena Shasanarata Karmeti Mimamsaka Soyam No Vidhadhatu Vanchita Phalam Trailokyanato Hari Omkaram Nigamaykavedymanisham Vedanta Tattva-pradam Chotpati Sthiti Nashahetum Amaram Vishwasya Vishwatmakam Vishwatrayana-parayanam Shrutishataihi Samprochamanam Prabhu Satya-jnanam-anantamurti-mamalam Shuddhatmaka Patunaha Lakshmi-yasya parigraha Kamalavuru Sunur Garutmanarataha Pautraschandra Vibhushanas Suraguru Sheshascha Shayasanaha Brahmandam Varam मन्दिरं सुरगण यस्य प्रभो सेवका सत्रैलोक्यकुटुम्ब पालनपरः कुर्वन्तु वो मङ्गलम्। वेदाश्चोपनिषद् गणाश्च विविधाः साङ्गा पुराणान्विताः वेदान्ताम् अपि मन्त्रतन्त्रसहितस्तर्कस्मृतीनां गणाः काव्यालङ्कृति नीतिनाटकगणाः शब्दाश्च नानाविधाः श्रीविष्णो गुणराशि कीर्तनकरः कुर्यात् सदा मङ्गलम्। आदित्यादि नवग्रह शुभकर मेषादयो राशयो नक्षत्राणि सयोगकाश्च तिदयस्तद्देवतास्तद्गणाः मासाप्ता ऋतवस्तदेव दिवसाः सन्ध्यास्तथा रात्रयः सर्वे स्थावर जङ्गमा प्रतिदिनं कुर्वन्तु वो मङ्गलम् कुर्वन्तु वो मङ्गलम् कुर्वन्तु वो मङ्गलम्। Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really wonderful. I now invite Yumna Hari Singh Java, founding trustee and vice president of ArtMantram, to formally welcome everybody.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Jija Madhavan Hari Singh, for inviting me up. I would like to start by welcoming everybody to the program. Our ArtMantram Lifetime Achievement Awardees for 2020 to Women in the Arts and Letters are here with us today. Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali, welcome. Padma Bhushan Devaki Jain, welcome. Princess Rukmini Varma, welcome. Welcome also to our distinguished guests, Shri Chiranjeev Singh, Shri Sudhakar Rao, Shri Lakshmi Narayan, Lakshmi Ishwar. We also have joining us Katyayani Agarwal and Mr. Sudhindra Bali. Welcome also to all the Friends of Mantram members and well-wishers of ArtMantram and viewers of this event from all over the world. I'd like to tell you a little bit about ArtMantram. The vision of ArtMantram is making the arts a part of everyday life of everyone. We've had a triple aim to promote the arts, artists, and art awareness ever since we first began in 1999. We are a not-for-profit trust that is now based out of Bangalore. And our philosophy rests on the deep conviction that anyone can cultivate talent through sadhana, which is devotion to the muse and practice. And if that is not forthcoming, then the next best thing that one can do is to be sensitive to others who have chosen to be in the meditation of creativity. ArtMantram, as I mentioned, has been around since 1999 in its former guise and as it is today. It was started by artists and professionals. We promote patronage and awareness of the arts and recognize that while arts is part of an elegant lifestyle and now is seen as a good financial investment in some cases with the fine arts, artists have traditionally struggled to survive. So we have tried to give them a lift up, especially in difficult times such as these, to enable them to carry on their profession with dignity and grace. How we respond to art is also important. So we try and encourage patronage of the arts. We try and encourage people to see art not as something in an ivory tower, but something that's relevant to them in their lives. And we believe very firmly that art lives in everybody. We've organized over 200 events, shows, camps, and workshops, and focused usually on a social burning issue while promoting the arts. So during the lockdown, we have worked on an art souk, which every month features 10 artists, where all proceeds go directly back to the artist. COVID relief in terms of rations and livelihood to weavers, artisans, and performers. And of course, the Kalyotsava, the 10-day festival of music, dance, that celebrates excellence in the arts, that's kicking off today with this program. And is also, in addition to ringing out the route of the year, is also about providing remuneration to the musicians, dancers, and performers who are part of the program. ArtMantram's strength has been in ideation. We've executed mega projects like the Art Walk, which is the precursor of the Chitra Sante here in Bangalore. The Bangalore International Art Festival, which was the Rorik Centenary Celebration, which we organized on behalf of the government. The Henyu Dasara Mela, the Hebbar Centenary Celebrations, the Festival of Art, Craft and Design in 2019, the Glasshouse Festival of Poetry from around the world earlier this year in July that had over 105 poets participating, and now Kalyotsava. I would also like to mention that in addition to helping artists, we also focus on art of the challenged. We worked with visually challenged art groups, children who are underprivileged, children who are in treatment for cancer, and we have supported women who are destitute, abandoned, differently abled, and also survivors of violence. So this is what makes up ArtMantram. Our network of stakeholders ranges from masters of the arts in India through to young artists who work to establish themselves. As mentioned, an inclusive approach to underprivileged children, challenged children, those in therapy and under treatment, and of course, support of women and children with a focus on access to education and livelihoods. The Mantram Lifetime Achievement Awards were first given out in 2010, and we're very proud to be giving them out today to our distinguished awardees. They celebrate women who have had a lifetime of accomplishment in the arts and letters, and some previous awardees include Anita Reddy, Kavita Krishnamurthy, Arundhati Nag, Anjali Ila Menon, Shashi Deshpande, Suma Sudhindra, Vani Ganapati, Poili Sen Gupta, and so on. I would now like to invite up the president of ArtMantram, Raji Narayan, to felicitate our awardees. But before that, a quick video to give you a little insight. I know you know them very well, but a little insight into the women that we are celebrating here today.
So when you're asking what was it like to be like that in the 50s, idealism. You know, that you had a country which was full of the poor, a country where Gandhi had made an attempt to give income to everybody by giving them charka and saying everyone will get 2 rupees if they weave. It was such a brilliant move to remove people from economic dependence. Even the poor need not be economically dependent. Like now we have Narega, then it was what was called the Khadi program. You can imagine what it's like for a young person to feel that there is some idealism in the air. Idealism was literally bursting in the air. I was also attracted by the sense of austerity, you're right. That in the midst of plenty, you feel you must make a gesture towards the fact that you are identifying yourself with those who do not have plenty. I think that is a marvelous romance for a young person. Because even today, when you see some of the young activists,
Thank you very much. May I please invite up Raji Narayan, President of ArtMantram, to felicitate our first awardee, Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali.
Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali, you are the greatest exponent of Bharatanatyam, a Carnatic singer, power flute, a dance choreographer, the mega star of Indian cinema, and a parliamentarian. You heralded the renaissance of Bharatanatyam over the last 3 decades. You have danced before the Pope at the age of 5, and you were the first Indian dancer to perform at the United Nations General Assembly in 1969. You have performed at the Sydney Opera House, Adelaide Festival, Royal Opera Festival, Stockholm, and have been our cultural ambassador par excellence. You have conceived and directed several dance dramas, namely the Andal Tirupai, the Chandalika, the Sangamam, and Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, to name a few. Your iconic film career lasted for more than 2 decades as the reigning queen with blockbusters like Nagin, Naya Daur, Sadhana, Amrapali, Ganga Jamuna, Sangam. Popularly known as the feminine superstar of the Indian screen, you were a household name in India. A happy combination of high idealism and practical wisdom, you contested from the South Madras constituency and served 2 terms in the Lok Sabha in 1984 and 1989. You were nominated to the Rajya Sabha by the President of India in 1993 for your contribution to the field of fine arts. You have received various honors, the Padma Shri in 1968, the Nritya Shiromani, the Natyakala Shikhamani, the Nritya Nirupama Visharade, and the Filmfare Awards for Best Actress for many, many consecutive years. The Dr. M.S. Subbulakshmi Centenary Award, Mumbai, and the Bala Saraswati Award, Tamil Nadu. We are truly proud of you, Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali. We We now start the honoring ceremony for Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali. I request Suchindra Bali on behalf of the ArtMantram Trust to please start the honoring ceremony. I request you to please put the silk shawl for Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali. The present, the sandal garland. The royal Mysore peta. The royal Mysore, our traditional Karnataka Mysore peta. The scroll. And the silver plaque. Thank you so much, Suchindra Bali. I now request Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali to address the gathering, please.
I wish to thank Raji Narayan, President, Mantram Art Foundation, and other members of the committee for honoring me with the ArtMantram Lifetime Achievement Award for my humble contribution to my dance, Bharatanatyam, and films. I have been closely associated with ArtMantram for many years now, and I know the amount of hard work and involvement over some decades to promote art in India and abroad by organizing several art events and international art festivals. My good wishes to Mantram Art Foundation on its laudable work, and congratulations to the other two awardees, Devaki Jain and Rukmini Varma. I would like to once again thank ArtMantram for the honor bestowed upon me. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali. Having addressed the gathering, I now request our managing trustee and mentor, Jija Madhavan Hari Singh, to honor Padma Bhushan Devaki Jain.
Thank you, Raji, and namaste, ma'am. Padma Bhushan Devaki Jain, a legend in India for your seminal work focused on issues of equity, democratic decentralization, people-centered development, and women's rights at local, national, and international levels. Born in Mysore in 1933 as daughter of a diwan and married to an illustrious Gandhian economist, you're known today as a development economist and writer internationally. Your new memoir, The Brass Notebook, recounts your story and that of an entire generation of a nascent nation. You're a thoughtful leader who taught in Delhi University in the initial years, were a Fulbright Senior Fellow of Harvard University and Boston University, Honorary Fellow, St. Anne's College, Oxford, and others. You have an honorary doctorate from the University of Westville in Durban. Founder and former director of the Institute of Social Studies Trust, New Delhi, Dr. Devaki Jain, you have been a member of many state planning boards and committees on gender and its inclusion. Internationally, you are the founding member of the Development Alternatives with Women for a New Era, DAWN, and served many intergovernmental committees and UN advisory panels. The Human Development Report, the reports on poverty and on child soldiers are very significant. You were awarded the Bradford Moss Memorial Award by UNDP at the Beijing World Conference. Awarded the Padma Bhushan, one of the highest civilian awards of India, for your contribution to social justice and the empowerment of women. Padma Bhushan Devaki Jain, we are truly proud of you. We now would like to present a silk shawl to start the ceremonious award ceremony. Thank you. Now the sandal garland, also typical of Karnataka. Now the Royal Mysore Peta. This has to be adjusted a bit. Okay. And the scroll. And the plaque, silver plaque. Perhaps a photograph. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Ma'am Devaki Jain to address the gathering?
Jija, if I may use your name, and while all of you are there, I must say that Jija and I have been friends when I was living in Bangalore, and I used to admire her efforts, even as a retired police officer, to come into the art, what shall I say, domain. So my congratulations to you, Jija, for building it up to be such a valuable organization. What do I have to say except that I miss Bangalore a lot. I now live continuously in Delhi after I lost my husband. And so it's nice to be in touch with Bangaloreans again. It was interesting to see this whole way you unfolded this function. And if you don't mind my being partial, I'm particularly happy that Vyjayanthi and I are on the same day. Because, as I told you, she's my second cousin. And whenever I meet her or she runs into me, she's so affectionate. She deplores the fact that I don't dye my hair, it's white, I don't know. And she keeps telling me, Iyengar Tamil, you never care. Come to my house, I'll make you look as beautiful as you really are. Jayanti, it's a real honor to be with you, my dear cousin. And I'm glad to see you looking so well and articulate. And my good wishes and blessings to your son for being such a caring child. I too am being looked after my two sons. In terms of...
Thank you, Devaki.
Chanel?
Thank you, Devaki.
Okay, we'll meet when the COVID is over, I'll come and see you in Chennai. One thought that struck me when I heard the prayers and the music, which was beautiful, that it's very important now in the current world for us to include mantrams and hymns or even appeals to God from all the religions. So I would say, since you are all so Indian and so cultured, that you would like to go back to Gandhi and take the Sarva Dharma prayer. The Sarva Dharma prayer includes prayers of all religions. And in a way, we as women doing art and culture need to be inclusive of every other religion, sect, class also, because the world is becoming so divided that art itself is a great builder of unity. And therefore your functions should always start with what Gandhi set up, beautifully done, Sarva Dharma, Samanatva. It's a beautiful sloka, and it brings all of us into one humanity. And I wish you and wish ArtMantram a great future. And I'm very happy to be here with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Very well said. We will definitely take note of your advice about Gandhi's Sarva Dharma prayer. We had not We are amiss. We should have thought about that earlier, but definitely that was really, really good advice for us. Now I request Elena Abraham, Creative Director of ArtMantram, to honor Princess Rukmini Varma. To Elena Abraham.
Namaste, Princess Rukmini Varma. You are a famous artist and the titular Maharani of Travancore. Born in 1940 as Princess Bharani Trinal Rukmini Bai Tamburan and the great-granddaughter of the master painter Ravi Varma, you paint in the same classical tradition. Tutored at Stalmont Palace in Trivandrum and Mount Carmel College, Bangalore, you are a self-taught artist whose skill and technique have evolved over a lifetime of painting into a singular style that you describe as academic realism. Growing up in an environment of court painters and artists, your work is influenced by Baroque masters like Rembrandt, Rubens, and Caravaggio, as well as the opulence of your royal heritage and that of India of the regal past. Your paintings come alive with allegory, imagination, splendor, and metaphor, marrying legend with the mythology and drama. Drawing from Ravi Varma's palette, but mixing your own unique shades, you highlight attractive qualities of human figures, beauty celebrated as eternal and divine, highlighting shades of skin against shimmering gold and gem-set jewels. With an intense passion for art and preserving the heritage of your famous ancestor, you, along with Gitanjali Maini, art connoisseur, promoter, and curator, and artist J. Varma, founded Raja Ravi Varma Heritage Foundation in 2015, promoting the three principles that governed his life: educate, appreciate, and preserve. Realizing that Ravi Varma's influence is seen in all walks of life, you strive to sustain that heritage and engage with relevant stakeholders. Princess Rukmini Varma, we are truly proud of you. Now, I would ask our ArtMantram members, they will be honoring Princess Rukmini Varma with the silk shawl.
Such a honor. Thank you so much.
Now, sandalwood garland. And then the Mysore Royal Peta. The scroll. And the silver plaque now.
Can we take a picture? Yeah.
Now I request Princess Rukmini Varma to address the gathering.
Thank you so much. I feel so greatly honored by ArtMantram. I never expected such a great honor. And more than anything, I'm so thrilled to share the platform with Srimati Vyjayanthimala Bali and Srimati Jain. I don't know if I can come anywhere near their achievements. But, well, anyway, I'm trying to uphold my great-grandfather's legacy. This day was a very, very traumatic day for me, in fact, because my father passed away 3 or 4 days ago, and at the age of 104. And I think finally I decided I would accept this award as a tribute to him, because he was an excellent artist and a very good musician. He played the veena very well, and he was an extraordinarily talented man. And I owe a great deal from him. My whole artistic capacity, I think, is from him. And that is his portrait, which I've done some 10 years ago. Of course, last week when he passed away, he was 104 years old. He had seen 2 world wars. And I think it would be so appropriate to accept this award as a tribute to him more than anything else. And I'm so glad that Art Mantra has made this possible for me, and really honored that Art Mantra has given me this award. And such a wonderful foundation as Art Mantra, who's not only doing humanitarian work, but also promoting arts and culture for many years now. A wonderful foundation such as I have not come across in Bangalore. This sort of an immense social or the achievements that Art Mantra has done. And I'm so thrilled that they have asked me to be a recipient of their award. I do believe that, like I'm sure most artists would believe with me, that recognition is a greater reward than remuneration. And I feel so grateful you have recognized me. And that is the most, I'm deeply grateful for that. Never expected it. Thank you so very much. I shall treasure this moment and the fact that you recognized my work, which is a greater pleasure to me than anything else. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Over to Yumna.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much to all of our awardees. It's such honor and a privilege for you to have accepted this award that means so much to us. I would now like to invite our Art Mantram board member, Chairman of WAPCO Limited and thought leader Lakshmi Narayan to inaugurate the Kalotsava. Sir.
Thank you very much, Yumna. I'm particularly honored and privileged to have been invited by the Execom of Art Mantram to do to perform the inauguration of this event. Yumna, like you just suggested as to how you are going behind the theme of Art Mantram for promoting art, for promoting artists, and finally promoting art awareness. I have at very close quarters in the past 14 or 15 years been seeing as to how all of you have been working together. And the most important part of the whole thing in the trust is you have kept the administrative costs so low, which means whatever you are collecting, whatever you are taking as contribution, directly goes to the beneficiaries, namely the artists. The fact that you have built in over 85 members and you've got a team, roughly you are covering about 250 artists, and the plethora of events that you cover is an example of what all of you as a collective group can do. I particularly would like to mention about the infectiousness of Dr. Jija Hari Singh. I mean, I tried my best to sometimes avoid her because the way she goes behind and the way she is committed is something of an exemplary nature. Congratulations to Jija and the whole team of Execom for having put up such a wonderful show in these days of coronavirus. We've always had an issue with respect to how do we really go about this ever since the beginning of March 2020. How beautifully you guys have got together to get an hybrid program made out this time is exemplary of how we are trying to face up to the corona infection. It's my great pleasure to inaugurate the Kalotsava 2020, wherein you are going to not only do it virtually, but also in the BIC auditorium. And I'm really looking forward to participate in the same. Thank you very much. And I would like to wish you all the very best and all the members of the Execom for having put in so much of effort in getting the three basic themes organized and being stuck to. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We would be, you have very kind words for us, but I must say that we rely so much on our friends and our supporters and the gentlemen who stand behind us to enable the work that we do. So thank you very much for your unflagging support as well, Shri Lakshmi Narayan. May I now invite our Trust Board member, Lakshmi Ishwar, to say a few words.
Thank you, Jija. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor and absolute pleasure to be here today at the inauguration of the 10-day Kalotsava, a festival of dance and music curated by ArtMantram Trust. Earlier in the afternoon, we saw three pioneers in their respective fields, three iconic role models, three gorgeous and talented women being honored with Lifetime Achievement Awards. I just could not take my eyes off them. Such beautiful women we have chosen. I mean, it was such a treat to watch them talk. As a trustee of ArtMantram, I have been continuously amazed at the way in which ArtMantram evolves and adapts to changes in the environment. When COVID struck all of a sudden and lockdown was announced, ArtMantram began Season 1 of Art Cafe for its members who are referred to as Friends of ArtMantram. It was a 30-minute catch-up every evening and started, guess when, 22nd of March 2020, the day the lockup was announced. And then we had Season 2 and Season 3 as well. Art Souk, the online version of Art in the Park, has now become a monthly ritual. The Glass House International Festival of Poetry brought together poets and writers from all over the world on an online platform. And now we have Kalotsava. So it's 2020, the year of the pandemic, turned out to be a busy calendar for ArtMantram and Friends of ArtMantram. And more to follow in 2021. 3 cheers to ArtMantram. We will begin the evening program with Baul music. Baul is a powerful musical form that has been recognized as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity by UNESCO and dates back to the early 8th century AD. It originated in Bengal. Today, the Baul tradition has grown, weaving together threads from Sahajiya Buddhism, Turkish Sufism, and Bengali Hinduism. We had lined up the most recognizable voice of Baul music, Miss Parvati Baul, to do the opening event. But unfortunately, she is at a place with no reliable Wi-Fi and is unable to join us live. Parvati has had a fascinating journey as a girl born in a traditional Bengali Brahmin family to a performer, teacher, and practitioner of the Baul tradition. At a young age of 16, she had a chance encounter with a blind Baul street musician. Mesmerized by the depth and spiritual intensity of the music and songs, she decided that she had found her path. The folk music also inspired her to visual arts, painting, and drawing, and subsequently led her to enroll at the prestigious University of Shantiniketan. With this brief introduction to Baul music and the movement, the Baul movement, I will now hand you back to Yumna, Hari Singh, so that we can all savor together the evening's musical program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. You are so effervescent with your energy that we felt we really needed you to kick us off as well. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this, as you always agree to be a part of any of our initiatives. I would now like to request Kavita Mehra, who is a founding trustee of ArtMantram and the treasurer, to propose the vote of thanks. Kavita?
Thank you. Distinguished awardees, members of ArtMantram and friends, that was indeed a glamorous ceremony, though on Zoom. I have now the pleasant task of proposing a vote of thanks. I would like to extend my heartiest gratitude to our awardees, Dr. Vyjayanthimala Bali, Padma Bhushan Devaki Jain, and Princess Rukmini Varma, recipients of our ArtMantram Lifetime Achievement Awards 2020. Even in these pandemic times, they have graciously accepted our invitation and have graced the occasion. We are indeed very grateful to them. A special thanks to Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, our advisory board member, for having supported the raising of funds and making Kalotsava possible. We record our appreciation to our main sponsors, ASM Technologies, Sansera Foundation, and TVS Automatic Solutions. Ms. Lakshmi Ishwar, Member Board of Trustee, our ArtMantram team in Bangalore, who facilitated Lubna Hassan, Shaila Gowda, Pratibha Pant, Shivangi in Delhi, and Suchindra Bali in Chennai. Dr. Jija Mahadhavan Hari Singh, Managing Trustee, Vision of ArtMantram, and Life of our organization. Raji Narayan, our President, Yumna Hari Singh Java, Vice President and Founder Trustee, Elena Abraham, Director Creative, and Kashmira Nair, Secretary. We are grateful to Tara Srinidhi, who mellifluously sang the invocation. Thanks to our team of young interns, always energetic, and there, Navya, Nikita, and Malvika. Thank you all once again. I would like to hasten and invite all of you to stay on. Our next program of Mystic Ball music by Kanaya Das starts now. Over to Kartike, who will introduce and conduct the interactive session. Thank you.
So we have a short interactive session that's now happening as a precursor to the ball music. And then for those of you who intend to move directly onto there, it's going to be premiering on our YouTube channel, which you can also find the link for on our website, www.artmantram.org/Kalotsava. Over to Katyayani.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me over. I'm representing Parvati ji, who's, like we said, is unable to join us this evening. So, yes, any questions that you may want to ask me, you're most welcome to. Yes.
So we have a message from Parvati ji herself, who's unable to join us live today. So Parvati ji, can we have your message, please?
Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. I'm very happy that this is happening and you can enjoy the singing of Kanai Das Baul. And thanks to Katyayani ji, it is her enthusiasm that has brought Baul tradition, presenting to you, and to get deep into this tradition. Especially, this is a tradition that is so deep and so much going into the root of our Bharatiya Parampara. And today, unfortunately, fortunately, I am in the Bengal ashram in our Gurukul in Ektara Kalari, where we don't have good internet situation. So I didn't take the chance, and I have requested Srimati Katyayani Agarwal, Katyayani ji, I am there in spirit. So have a wonderful evening. Joy.
Thank you very much. I think we have about 5 minutes before we premiere live on YouTube. Katyayani ji, thank you so much. I think it's wonderful that you have allowed us to bring this little known form to a wider audience. In person, it is such a transformative experience. I think everyone gets into a meditative state as you listen. Could you tell us a little bit more about how you came across the Baul tradition and why you advocate for it so strongly today?
Yes, so I first heard Parvati Baul in Bombay at an event organized by Times of India, and that's where I first heard her, and I was just completely taken in by the sadhana. I mean, it was just so meditative, and I remember she sang this Baul song, which was evocative of a chakor. Now, chakor is a bird which will the only drop of water that it will drink when it sights a particular moon. It would rather die than have any other water. So it was a kind of a metaphor to a devotion to surrender to the being, and to become one with the divine. So I was just so taken in by her, and then we got on to become very close friends, and I've organized several functions for her. And then during the pandemic, what happened was that she called me up and she said, these bowls. So now these bowls are basically wandering bards, and the only source of income is they go from village to village, home to home, collecting alms, whatever they get in cash or kind. Generally it's grains. And with the lockdown, they just couldn't move, and they literally they weren't even hand to mouth. The situation was so bad, and that's how we decided to we did a bowl mela to raise some funds for these bowl singers, and that's how this event has come about, just to support these artists who are just dedicated to their sadhana, to their art, to their divinity, and without really caring for anything else. Maybe it's just a 4 square meal, maybe not even that.
Thank you. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask. We have a couple of minutes, and it really is an opportunity to find out more about an art form that is not very well known. And so, Katyayani ji, while we wait for the other people to put their hands up, I am always willing to know more. So, I have seen them mostly at festivals, and it's always a privilege to listen. But where when you say they're wandering minstrels, which I know they are, my understanding is they're generally around the Bengal side, the Odisha side. Could you just tell us a little bit more about the home ground of ball music?
The home ground is basically from Bengal and Assam and Tripura, that region basically, and Bangladesh happens to be a great place for bowl music. Actually, that's where it has been recognized as a UNESCO it's on the UNESCO heritage list. So that's where it is now. These they are basically live in villages. They, like I said, they wander and they just sing to you'll find them in a train in a local train, maybe in Calcutta, if you're going from Calcutta to Shantiniketan or somewhere. They're basically in the interiors of West Bengal. That's where, or Assam or Tripura, that's where you will find these people singing. And so that's where they are.
And what is sort of the apprentice tradition? I mean, because everyone seems to go on their own journey, and it's so meaningful for you to go inside and find your own source of inspiration for bowl music as a practitioner. But is there also kind of a system of apprenticeship? How do people learn? How do you become a bowl singer?
Yes, they do. So they will. So any of these masters can be a teacher. So these young people go to them and they devote, and they actually live in what we call ashrams, is actually what they call akhadas, and that's where their life is. So basically they would go during the day and they come back to their akhadas, and the tradition is that they completely the student completely devotes himself or herself to learning and singing with the master. And so it's basically a Guru Shishya parampara, like we have in all other paramparas of ours, art paramparas of ours. It is basically a Guru Shishya parampara.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Jija.
Yes,
Jija. Is Parvati ji the only person who is, and you, the only people promoting bal singers now, or there are other pockets of interest, supporting and facilitating the nurturing of bal singing? That's one question. Number two, Lakshmi Ishwar had asked, how many bal singers are there across the country? That's one question. And I was curious also to listen to Parvati ji explaining in the main Kanaida's music, saying that he stays in the in the
Ikthara Kalari.
Yeah.
That's Rasha.
Yeah. Not ashram. The Kanai Das lives in the funeral. I mean, near the funeral piles in the graveyard. So, what is? I would like to know a little bit more about that, if it's possible.
Of course. So the first question, Jija, I've lost track.
The first question was, are there? I know Parvati ji is supporting.
Yes.
Are there other people who are supporting? I had heard Parvati ji about 5 years ago in Bangalore, when she came to Bangalore in the National Gallery of Modern Art.
Right.
But before that, I had never heard of ball music at all. So I was curious whether, is she the only person? And are you the only corporate or, NGO who is supporting bal music, or are there pockets of interest nurturing the music?
No, so actually Parvati ji is the face of Baul music internationally. As you can see from her, language, as when she presents herself, she's the only one who can speak English. She's more, educated. So she's had a different life than all the other Baul singers who are basically, just from villages. They are illiterate people who just have a talent, and they nurture that talent, and then they, just give themselves to the gods or to the divine. So she's perhaps the only one. I don't know of anybody else who is the face of Baul internationally and nationally as well. And I would think that perhaps mine is the only NGO which is supporting them in this cause. Yes, she has. Parvati ji is very well known. She's had several webinars. She's been invited by the British Museum. There was a webinar by Harvard University. So she is very well known. But yeah, she's the only face I would think who is representative of the Bouls. Now, second question was how many Bouls are left? There are about 700 to 800 Bouls. We can't really put a exact number, but I think there are about 700 to 800 practitioners in the eastern part of our country, including Bangladesh. And the third question was about Kanai Das, right? Hello?
What is the significance of his staying in the graveyard? I mean, is there any significance? He says that he left. I mean, what I heard Parvati saying was that, third. And Kali ji, I am in the lap of Kali ji and all that. I just wanted to know if he's the only person who does that, or is there some tradition of following Kali ji? I just wanted to know. Or
no,
what
so,
of the
so Jija, there are a lot of, so Bouls are actually quite looked down upon by householders. There are two types of Bouls, which are complete ascetic, and they lead absolutely ascetic lives, and they don't have any family or anybody. And then there are family Baul singers who have families, but basically what we've seen is that they are almost treated as outcasts, and even the family the Baul singers who have families, they live outside or on the periphery of villages for some odd reason. I think they were practicing, there was Sahaj practice and all that, so they were kind of treated with a little bit of suspicion. And then, anybody who comes asking for anything, whether it's money or kind, is never treated with respect. So that was, I think, one of the reasons where they are, they kind of live outside on the peripheries of villages, etc. Kanaida was very attracted to Ma Tara, who is the deity or the presiding goddess of a cremation ground in Bengal, in that part of the world, part of the country. And he started as a young child, he started singing there, and he was blind, as you know, as Parvati ji will tell you in her introduction, that he was visually challenged as a child. I mean, he was born visually challenged. So he kind of connected every time he would go to the cremation ground, he felt connected. He felt there was a mother who was looking after him, and that's the reason why he almost all the entire day he spends at the cremation ground. And Parvati ji will tell you that he calls it his office. He goes at 9 in the morning and comes back at 8 in the evening, spending the entire day there singing bhakti songs, doing the seva of the temple which is there of Tarama.
We actually have Sheila, who's a friend of ArtMantram, who has raised the name of another ball singer. Sheila has posted that Purna Das Ball was one of the first to take ball music to the international arena.
Yes.
So,
yeah. But I think the way Parvati ji has taken it across, and she's actually she's a permanent member of the festival that is organized by Times of India. No Sufi festival that is organized by Times of India is complete without her participation. So in a way, she's really brought it up. She talks about it. She's very articulate in her expressions. So I think she's really one of the main faces of the Baul.
Thank you so much. I think we're getting lovely remarks also saying, appreciating the event and appreciating our interaction. I think there's another note from Lakshmi Ishwar ma'am, who says that she read that Parvati is setting up an academy for ball singers.
Yes, she is. This is in Bengal. This is out the side of, this is beyond Shanti Niketan. It's called the Ekthara Kalari. That's her ashram. And that is where she's setting up her academy to train young people who are attracted to ball. So you would be surprised that we have a lot of international students who are now learning the Baul music under Parvati ji. And it is just amazing and fabulous to see their dedication to their guru, which is Parvati ji, and to the art form. It's just absolutely wonderful to see their dedication. In fact, the kind of mela that they put up, to raise funds for during the pandemic was all done by these students. There was somebody from Germany, there was somebody from Australia, there was somebody from New Zealand. All these Parvati ji students had put up. So it's very encouraging to see a lot of people from all parts of the world being attracted to Baul and wanting to learn and know more about the Baul music and the tradition.
Thank you. I think that's a lovely place actually to bring this to a close, because it's a wonderful invitation for everybody to now move on to the actual performance of Parvati Ball and Kanai Das, which is going to be accessible on our website for the link, but I've also posted it here in the chat box. I will post it again so you can directly navigate to it. It's starting at 5:45, so in about 5 minutes, it'll give you enough time to have a comfort break or a cup of tea before you sit down again. So thank you all very, very much for coming. Thank you, Katyayani ji, for this lovely interaction and quick behind the scenes look at the lives and the tradition of Baul music. Thank you to everybody who has made it here. The official vote of thanks has already been given by our founding trustee as well as our treasurer, Kavita Mehra. So I will only quickly say it has been a pleasure as always. We have 10 fantastic days of music, dance that celebrates excellence in the arts, that seeks to ring out 2020 on a positive note. We hope that you will join us for it. The next 4 days, 22nd to 25th, are also going to be happening live at the Bangalore International Center. If you'd like to attend, you can come there. There is a little form to let us know that you're going to be there, just so we can manage the crowds and the seating. And that's it. Thank you so very much for joining us on this journey. If you would like to support us, we believe firmly that performers need not just a space and a forum and an audience with which to exchange energy, but they also need to be remunerated so they can continue to devote themselves to their craft. There is a crowdfunding campaign up on Milap. There's a link from our website, www.artmantram.org/Kalyotsava gives you all the information about the festival. You can navigate from there. And there is also a silent art auction that's going to be taking place. So please continue to support the arts. Please continue to celebrate artists, and please sing and dance your way into the new year. Thank you so very much. Thank you for joining us, Rekha Raoji. Thank you for joining us, Anita Reddy ji. Thank you all friends of Art Mantram, supporters, executive committee, etc. Bye-bye now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really wonderful.